Hello, and welcome to the Cloud Native Partner Showcase. My name is David Giard. I am a partner solution architect with Microsoft. We highlight our partners who are building great applications and services for themselves and for their customers using Azure Kubernetes Service. And today we have Stas Stolposki and Achilles Chalkyotas from Grid Dynamics. Welcome, gentlemen. Tell me what do you do for Grid Dynamics?
Thank you. So I'm leading the search department in Grid Dynamics. So we're focusing on building custom and integration with existing search engines for many different verticals, including retail, manufacturing, and general industry. And we have this big practice for last 14 years in our company. So we're working with Microsoft a lot, and I would love to be here today.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
David, and my name is Achilles. I lead the global, I'm the global head of the digital engagement practice here at Grid. Inside of digital engagement, there's a few different areas focusing around content, commerce, search, as well as AI assisted experiences and custom development. And in many cases, we're working with Microsoft and our clients in order to put those solutions forward for them within Azure.
Terrific. Tell me a little bit about Grid Dynamics.
So Grid Dynamics has been around since 2006. We actually, if you want, we've got a couple of slides that we can share. But we've been around since 2006. We're just under 5,000 employees. We're publicly traded. We went live in 2020 as a public entity, and we currently service clients across a number of different industry verticals. As this says, we're in 19 different countries today, headquartered in San Ramon, California, in the United States. And we've got a presence across the Americas, Europe, as well as Asia. Now, the portfolio that we have a number of different practices. As I said, I lead the digital engagement practice. We have three other practice groups. One is in data engineering and advanced analytics. Another one is in supply chain and IoT. And then the third is within cloud platform and engineering and cloud ops, all of which is infused by AI and generative AI capabilities.
I understand that you've recently built a product using Azure Kubernetes Service. Can you tell me about the problem you were trying to solve with this product?
Yeah, sure. So the problem itself that we were trying to solve is really helping merchandisers have flexibility and provide them with the capability to manage the results of the search page. So when a customer is going in and typing in a search query, we wanted to be able to give control back to those customers to be able to say, how do we want to display the assortment, the merchandising, the positioning of a lot of the results that are in there? So some of the key features that are here are things like ranking rules, extended facet management, providing linguistic overrides. So let's say, things where we could do synonyms and antonyms and overrides around that, autocomplete management, managing things around the visuals and the placement of those, but also being able to see what things would look like, doing the screen by screen comparison as you're looking at, I'm doing one search result and I want to, adjust it with using MXP and do another one where it's seeing what it comes with within the control group. But then also doing other things like having an approval process, A/B testing. It's a whole suite of capabilities that really, again, give control back to the merchandisers to allow them, as we're using search solutions, to be able to position where they wanted to and allow for their customers to get the right result for their query.
Wow, that's a lot of features. I would love to see it. Can you show it to me?
Yeah, of course. I think what we'll do is we can talk through and share a little bit more. Stas is also going to be walking through the specific capabilities that we have and the technology that's under the hood. Stas, if you'd like to kind of walk through a little bit around what MXP looks like and some of the solutions that are provided there.
Yes. Thank you, Achilles. So basically, this platform consists from many different services working together, and we providing this platform as a starter kit. Means that we bring this services to the client, and we tune it for the client, do some customization for the client, and align with the client roadmap. So if they need the new features on the roadmap, we are happy to add these new features, but they already from the beginning have a big set of the capabilities that comes with this platform. And these capabilities includes the search, communication. It's a browse communication. It's setting up for all the categories that they have in their catalog. Its ability to do the boosting and bearing and other types of merchandising activities. It's providing a connection with recommendation engines, and it's able to do some connections with different commerce engines. Commerce tool, Shopify, and a similar one. And under the hood, we have like several components, several main components that we have. We have facade for the system. We have central API that we deployed inside the AKS system, along with the other services like merchandising UI, merchandising services, and all this platform lives within the same environment with Azure AI search and indexing pipelines that we have from the customer environment. So basically, we're tailoring the customer environment all together and providing the seamless experience. The heart of the system is AKS. So we building the system this way so it became scalable. We have a big resource group, which we deploy inside the client environment. And inside this resource group, we create a new virtual network which operate through the several gateways, one for the customers with general access for the APIs. So the storefront can create the secure connection to the API and provide the traffic which flows to the customers and back. And we have another gateway for the merchandiser, so it can be positioned for the internal network, and the different merchandising team can access it through the separate endpoint and separate environment. Under the hood, we have a working group where we have like set of services added as a nodes into AKS cluster. They scale independently, and we can control the scalability for the each service based on the load that we have, either from the internal resources or from the client traffic. Also under the hood, we have all coverage for firewall networks. We have connection with storage, which is Azure AI search, blob storage. We have connection for OpenAI for AI features like Assistant. And we also have all these things covered with local analytics.
I want to focus on the Kubernetes part of this, particularly the Azure Kubernetes Service parts of this. Which pieces of these are running in AKS?
So we have three central microservices to develop, which is running inside the AKS. So it's a search backend, the central point for the all storefront communication that you have from your customers or from your environment. We have merchandising service, which is providing all the merchandising capabilities for the rule evaluation, promotion campaigns, and facet navigation. And then we have merchandising UI, which is the UI front-end component, which also deployed as a node workload inside the AKS.
Can you dive a little bit more into how this helps you make this application more scalable?
Absolutely. So the beauty of this split is that we can scale all three components independently. So even if we have a huge traffic coming from the clients, we don't need to have merchandising UI being scaled proportionally with the client traffic. So all these things separated based on the load. So search backend takes like the biggest load from the customer traffic. Then we have floating load for the merchandising service for some of the queries that require merchandising, for some of the queries that don't require merchandising. So we can be flexible in the load between these two services. And the last but not least, UI components have the lowest footprint on the load, and it's always like downscaled on the bare minimum. So merchandisers are enabled with their tools, but they're not requiring the huge resource pool, which consuming a lot of the money.
Very nice. Are there other ways that you've used to secure the application?
Yeah, so our best practice is to have firewall rules in place. So none of the traffic being exposed publicly. We have VPN connection coverage for everything, and we have like different types of connections, and for the customer storefront traffic and for the merchandising team. So we can restrict whoever access this API have the proper authentication.
My experience is that no matter how well you architect the system, something will eventually go wrong. There'll be a problem with an attacker or errors in hardware or systems or communication. How are you addressing that?
So we have proper monitoring embedded into the system. So we have live dashboards and active logging covered for all major components. We also have the health Stas, health check being set up for each and every web microservice that we're providing. So all these things in complex give us a bit of the confidence that the system is performing and working as expected.
What if it's not? What's the fallback if something goes wrong?
So our team is providing knowledge transfer for the support team from the client environment. And if they don't have, or if they want to have us supporting this, we providing the support for this application as well.
I like the way that you're using discrete services here, not only to scale independently, but also to manage the complexity of this application. These microservices can help to manage it a little better. What was the most challenging part of designing and building this application?
The most challenging part was to understand the customer needs with our experience from the retail industry and the intersection with different verticals. We have a big backlog for the things that we re-implementing from client to client. And at some point, we end up repeating like every project exactly the same steps over and over again. So the biggest challenge was like to have these things unified and available for majority of the clients. And it's not the technical challenge that we're facing. So technology is pretty much there, and Azure is enabling all these things to make it like more easy to engage. But the business aspect of these things is the most critical part.
That's an interesting response that you are a technologist, and yet the biggest challenge wasn't the technology, it was the communication, the understanding of
Yeah, with
the requirements.
technology, with technology that AKS is providing, so building the scalable service is not a huge problem that we're facing. The biggest problem that we're facing right now is what exactly and which way we need to build it.
Yeah, there are a lot of containerization tools out there. What made you choose Kubernetes and Azure Kubernetes Service?
So that's convenient way. It's one of like the modern technologies that comes as an industry standard. We are operating in the many different environments, and we need to have a scalable component that will be easy to replicate from one environment to another. AKS was organic choice for it.
I love what you've shown me so far. I love the requirements. I love the architecture. I would love to see it in action. Is that possible?
Yes, let me show you how this system looks like. This is our main screen for MXP application. MXP brings together all the tools you need to tune your search engine and drive merchandising decision on top of the both search and browse results, from ranking rules and existing controls to facet configuration and beyond. MXP let business users own their search experience with no code changes for the best user experience. Let's begin our journey from the evaluation screen. So this is the familiar e-commerce interface that you can see on every e-commerce website. It have a search bar, it have a facet navigation, and the product results. On the right panel, you can see that if we have any merchandising rules, they will be appearing here. And currently there is no rules in the system, so let's try to search for some queries. Let's begin with simple dishwasher query. And we can see that we have facet navigation being updated. We have new product result list. There's still no rules being applied. Let's take the business use case that we want to optimize the search results for this particular query. To do this, we need to go into our rules section. Here we still don't have any rules, so we need to create a new one, and we click creating rules. Our rule creation starting with the name. So let's put some dishwasher demo rule. We can put some tagging here for quick navigation across the different rules. We can put description that we have a demo rule preview. We also can set up effective date. So effective date is the time range when this rule will be applied to the results. It will be useful for some hot fixes or if you have any time related promotions. Then we have a trigger. So we call the trigger the condition when this rule needs to be executed. In our case, we need to execute this rule for the search queries. So let's put the search phrase the dishwasher. And each time when people will be searching for dishwasher, this rule will be active. Then we define the condition when it's happening, then we need to understand what is happening. And we have a broad list of actions that can be applied to this particular query. So we don't know yet what we need to do. So let's try to see how this query looks like right now, and let's use preview capabilities. So this is our current results, and we want to optimize it. Let's say we know that this is a top selling product, so we want to have this product being promoted on the top. So we can click this pin button, and then there's new action automatically added here. which shows that this product will be pinned to existing position. So let's change the position. What has just happened here, that you see on the right side, the result was automatically updated. The current results shown only for this screen. They're not changing the existing behavior yet until we click publish for the rule. And we can see that the results is pretty much great. So we don't want to have this product, which is not relevant, appearing in the results. So what we can do, we can remove this product from the result set, and the new action will be added to hide this product automatically. So let's now try to publish the rule. It's being saved and it's currently effective. And we can see that this rule was saved with our parameter for the search query, for the actions to pin and hide product. And let's go back to evaluation screen and search for the dishwasher again. Now you can see that the faces will remain the same. The product list was changed. We have new product on the position. We see that it was pinned. So there is a pin button appearing on the product image. And we also don't see our misleading product. On the right section, we see that there is no new rule being applied to this. It's a rule that we just created. That's a quick glimpse on the merchandising rule engine that we have. We also have like many different capabilities inside this tool. So feel free to contact us to see more.
That's a really cool application. Thank you for sharing that with us. Is this done? Is it baked, or are you still building it? And if so, what's next on the roadmap?
No, this is still evolving. So the component of OpenAI is there for a reason. So we're trying like to add the conversational piece into this experience and enable the fusion between the existing search technologies and the conversational experience. That's like one of the biggest directions that we follow right now.
What kind of feedback are you getting from your customers that are using it today?
The feedback's been really positive. I think where we get specific feedback on the solution is on customers that are using this, that have larger teams that are doing merchandising, that really have a lot of different products in different groupings. So products that they have that they're getting from, providers, products that they have as their own house brand, which in some cases provide for a higher margin, and they want to find a way to, promote or boost those, as well as other products that are coming from some type of marketplace. This is allowing for a lot more control and allowing for those organizations to be able to showcase what they want as they see fit for that specific customer and their specific needs.
Outstanding. Where can people go to learn more, or maybe to request this application?
GreatDynamics.com is not only a great place to go and learn about MXP, but just a great resource in general.
Stas, Achilles, thank you so much for your time.